Wow, Libra. Okay, we have 2 major arcana cards. Nice. We have the Lovers and we have the Moon. All right, so the Lovers card, well, that's pretty obvious what the card stands for, is a committed relationship. It could be soulmates, you and your significant other just feel like you've been in this lifetime as well as other lifetimes together. It comes first card, so that feels to me like, okay, this could go one or two ways, because here we have the Moon, like which path do I take? So for some of you Libras, your relationship is rock solid, it's fine, and it's going to get better even. I feel like there's communication. I forget where Venus is right now, but she's in an area that's definitely significant for your partnership, is what I want to say. So this could be that this partnership becomes more intensified, deeper. It can also mean the opposite. For some of you Libras, for some of you, you're wondering, okay, is this still the right path? Is this still the right relationship? You know, you're really considering, is it right for me to stay in this romantic relationship? And I would say romantic because we have the Lovers card. So interesting. I haven't gotten a lot of relationship readings. You're my 10th one. As I said, relationships have been in there, but not as significant as you. Of course, you are the relationship sign. And, you know, Uranus, the planet of transformation, just, well, a year ago moved into Taurus. But basically how it affects you, Libra, is your 8th house. Okay, so look up 8th house and how that's going to be transformed. That's, you know, it has to do with taxes. It has to do with death and rebirth. And I don't mean physical death, but just letting go of what you don't need so that you can rebirth. It has to do with spiritual sex. And you just look it up and see how your house is going to be transformed in the next 7 years until 2026. It's a big deal. But I feel like a lot of you are either wanting really this relationship to work out, and how can we make it more so? I'm going to use my pen to point. Or, is this the right relationship? So for some of you Libras, it'll be one way. For some, a different way. Let's see what April comes or brings in. Interesting cards for you all this time, Libra. Okay. So we have the 6 of Cups, which I haven't seen in this series at all, this particular series. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting to me. Okay. So the 6 of Cups is a wonderful, sweet card. It reminds us of our childhood memories. It brings back those to us. It may be about your children and being playful and happy. And remember, this is starting around the beginning of April. Okay, so we've just gone through we're going through Mercury retrograde. Great time to rethink what makes you happy. You know, make that list. What in my life and who in my life are working and makes me happy, and who's not. You know, because you want to be able to feel that childlike feeling. All right. Some of you may be having very vivid dreams right now that just came to me. So if you are, you know, pay attention to them. Some of them will be clear in the morning, and some of them will be, you know, clear as mud. But, you know, if you can remember them, I try to write mine down at night, but if it wakes me up too much, then I have to admit I don't. So I just try to remember them. It's interesting what comes beside this sweet card is now the 5 of Pentacles. And we know in the 5 in the tarot means change, challenge. It just does in the tarot. In numerology, it represents change. It does. But in numerology, it also represents travel. And it could be a little bit of challenge, but let's talk about this. And this Pentacles, of course, are your money, and it could be your physical health. I mean, the Pentacles represent that, but plus look at this poor guy here. He's on his crutches and his, head is, well, it's more of a hat, but, he's been through it. He has a hurt foot here, which is interesting to me. I'm Libra sun and I've had a problem with my right foot. But anyway, so there have been financial struggles, but he's being led out of that. And the next card would be, of course, the Six of Pentacles, and that's the generosity card. So it could mean, again, I'm going to go back to Uranus because this would make sense. Uranus is also eighth house, excuse me. Well, Uranus is transforming your eighth house, is other people's money. So this could mean that, you're getting help from other people. Maybe your spouse starts to make more money. And boy, is that help to you. Wow. Whew, thank goodness. Because it's other people's money. It could be, that's something, you get a raise or promotion. And, or it could be, okay, so, owe more money in taxes. Here in the U.S., tax is around, well, it's April 15th. Not around, it is a tax day. But other people's money and getting help and support in that. So usually when I see this card, I'm like, it's not always a positive card, but I see this being of benefit and support to you, interestingly enough. Under these two major arcana cards, which are really deep spiritual experiences in your life. Okay, so let's see what the card between the two, the energy card between the 2 months. Oh, well. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the one that actually fell on the floor. Because, and I will be honest, it turned face up, but I thought, you know what? We're going to use it. So, this could indicate a number of things. It's the Nine of Swords. You're an air sign. The swords represent the air signs. So this could mean that you've been overthinking a lot. It could mean that you've been staying up at night or had trouble sleeping. It could mean that some of you all have, you've been sick or, this is the time of year where I've heard more people talk about bronchitis, some flu, some upper respiratory, those kinds of things. So the energies are, okay, what am I doing? What's next best for me? These two major arcana cards are really deep, deep issues. We have lovers here. We have a path that, this is, the moon's ruled by Cancer. This card's ruled by Cancer. So use that intuition. This card means use your intuition and maybe not so much your thinking mind to feel into these cups. I hope you can all see these. These cup cards are also our feelings. So, try to do that, to use more your intuitive guide and not stay up at night so much, not get those headaches. Because it looks like your money's changing. Your money is changing. I can't help myself. I'm going to draw a clarification card on this. Okay, well, two clarification cards. I got the Devil, which means that tied to a relationship, tied to a job that you don't like, but it makes money. Could be you or someone else has alcohol or drug issues, but out of this comes happy home, happy family. So there's something about, for some of you, this, and I call it the addiction card, but it can, like I said, can be addicted to relationship or whatever, that you're working through to create more happiness for yourself. Okay? All right? So put any comments below. I'm going to look into my crystal, but put any comments below. Those were clarification cards, and one was very much like, okay, pay attention to anything that, pay attention to what's in your life that's you feel bound by. So if you feel bound by your career, you feel bound by a client, like they're taking up all your time and you need to cut those chains. I mean, it can be anything. Say you feel bound by, you can't move it and you want to move. So pay attention to that, because what you can cut so that you can have that joyful, happy home, happy family. All right, Libra, let's look into the crystal. This is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Well, immediately for your totem animal, and it's so funny for Virgo, I didn't get a totem animal. So for you all, it's a starfish. And I don't know a lot about starfish. I just saw it in the crystal. So I'm encouraging you to Google it and or YouTube it. You know, there may be, with Aquarius, I saw a cardinal, and then all of a sudden on my phone popped up the prophecies of cardinal. So I'm just saying, there's YouTube, you can YouTube anything. Starfish, and it may be a metaphor of you feeling your star power. Libras are making changes in their everyday life to make themselves happier, to make themselves happy, instead of, I know I've said this 100 times, but giving to others so much. It's okay. What makes me happy? It's a life change, because it is a thinking change of how you feel about yourself. Okay. So that's star power. Give yourself that star power. I do see the mask in the crystal. I've seen it probably half of the videos I've done. So anyone that feels like that they are not honest, it could be deceitful, don't have your best interest at heart, or someone else's, maybe it's just you're around someone at work, or there's a friend in a group, setting you belong to, and it's like, I don't know about this person. Good time to sort of not give that a lot of energy, because this is Mercury retrograde. We don't want to get into a confrontation with them, right? But that's what that represents to me. Not everybody's as honest as you are, Libra. One sign I got that they weren't being honest to themselves. So, be honest with yourself and what you really want in your life. Okay, so what else is coming up for Libra? Okay, so some of you might, I feel like metaphysics, exploring metaphysics is coming up big for you. It may be shamanism. It may be, the study of, I keep wanting to go to shamanism, so that's where my mind's going. But for some of you, it's going to be more intuitive development, mediumship, those kinds of things. And I love to do mediumship. So if you, and I with people, I have done training and exercising over over Skype, like a 30-minute Skype. And so I love to do that. If you want to do that, email me. My link is below in the show more section, where you can email me at themagicalmatrix@gmail.com, or order a reading or whatever you want. But there's, that's one thing I love to do, how to connect to the other side. Let's see what else. Big windows of opportunity coming your way. You kind of, for some of you, you've already visited one of these opportunities, but it didn't come to fruition. And I think for some of you, you're going to hear from this source, whether it's a company or a person, partnership. It feels like it's more towards the end of March into April. Okay. Let's see what else is up for Libra. Yeah, it's interesting. Shamanism, Buddhism, I don't know, just different spiritualities to enlighten your life. Okay, anything else? I feel like some of you all are going to have company, or someone that wants to visit you. Well, this would be Mercury retrograde, because a lot of times we do hear from people from the past, a friend from, say, college. All of a sudden you hear from them. But I was getting from the crystal that someone wants to come visit you, see you, and you want to do that, but set your boundaries on the amount of time that you spend with them. Like if you think, oh, I'd love to go to lunch or dinner with them, but I don't want to spend the whole weekend with them, then, that comes up. Also, animals come up, dogs, especially dogs and cats, but especially dogs. So, take care of your little one, or big one, if you have a Saint Bernard or German Shepherd or something big. I'm just saying animals are coming up. Okay, so your loved ones. Okay. All right, Libra. It's interesting to me how the crystal messages are almost always, not every time, but usually different than the card messages. And that's okay, because that gives us double the fun here. I guess for you all, I would say, well, and especially with these two, you have some major life changes coming up. Pay attention to your day-to-day life and how to make yourself happy. That's going to be really important. I feel like you're going to be guided through this, and other people's money is going to help you out or make you get organized, or just there's a change in that. That would make sense with Uranus in your 8th house.